It's good to be with you again, brothers and sisters. Praise Yah. He is so worthy of all honor and esteem. He is so worthy. You know, he tells us in the book Hazan, Revelations, to come out from among her and be ye separate. And then I'm going to paraphrase and say, unless you want to also be partakers of my wrath. So we don't want to be partakers of his wrath, because right now we're not appointed to his wrath. But if we continue to hold on to the harlot, the whore, that one who has taught his people to serve other deities and to commit all types of spiritual crimes, we will also partake of the wrath that she's going to experience. So, but Baruch are all those who revere Yahuah and those who walk in his ways. I want to add on to the last time I was before you and was sharing about evil spirits in childhood. Before I do, I also want to reach back and add something to the audio where I was telling, what is it in the same? I don't remember if it's in the same audio now, but the one about the lady who was sexually assaulted by her father and how it affected her life. Of course, I didn't tell you everything because there's a lot of different things attached to that. But today I was thinking a little bit about that and realizing that I had left some things out, but there was so much to tell. But one thing was that as she was coming out from under that curse and was starting to see reality and understanding what all had taken place, she said he began saying, because, you know, he was always protecting his marriage. But he started telling things to her like she was his soulmate. And she would kind of like scoff at it and say, you know, how could that be so? You know, you're married and you're protecting that marriage. So that, you know, but what it was something that the enemy was using to try to grab hold of her, because she had never really experienced love, and even that when she looked back wasn't really love. And so, but Yah had evidently intervened and let her know that not to accept that. And because she wouldn't accept it, she was saying that it was emptiness, and she just felt like it was a trap. And truly it was, because first of all, there's nowhere in the word of Yah that anybody's soulmate. He told the scribes and Pharisees, or was it the Sadducees? But anyways, they are sad, you see, you know, but they were asking about being married in eternity. And he said, you neither marry or are given in marriage. So that's another lie. It's another trick of the enemy. People call each other soulmates. There is no such thing. And so, you know, looking at this now, like I said, when it came to me, I was thinking, I said, wow, had she given into that and accepted that, thinking that maybe she was winning him, that he was giving her his heart, that she would have actually gone into covenant with that spirit. And another thing, evil spirits know when they're about to lose a person. They know it. Just by the way the things they start doing, saying, and the way they're acting. Even without them even denouncing it verbally, just by their actions, the things they say, the things they start doing, they start knowing. So that's that for that. Now to go on to more of helping us to be equipped to live in this life of darkness and evilness all around us. We have to remember that The spirit realm is more real than the physical realm. Whatever happens in the spirit realm is manifested, it is demonstrated, it is shown, it's become visible in the physical realm. Everything starts in the spiritual realm, and we see it in the physical realm. So, we being light, we're very visible in this dark place. Okay, so I just have little bullets of thoughts for you today. The first one is that we must be mindful of cliches and familiar sayings and popular responses. If the world is saying it, there's a hidden agenda behind it. So the first one is, do not say, take advantage of the opportunity. Listen to what is being said. I take, or yes, we need to take that opportunity. Not us. Not us. Not the children of Yah. We don't take because we are provided for. All that we need is provided for. We don't say take advantage of. We are entering into a curse. Because in reality, if it is an opportunity, why does it have to be taken advantage of? Do you hear that? It is better to say we accept this opportunity, and sometimes all we might have to say is thank you. And always seek Yah's approval and his instruction and his counsel when we're about to make any type of changes, any new moves. Another one. A few weeks ago, I was explaining to my sister that I wasn't able to do something at the moment. And I said I was tied up. And as soon as the words left my mouth, I took it out the atmosphere, and she too realized the hidden evil in that phrase. Don't be saying we were all tied up. So I rephrased the meaning by simply saying I was not able to take the call or whatever it was that I was talking about. I said I wasn't able at that time. Do not say I was all tied up. Do not say take advantage of. And when I was working and was around a lot of people, co-workers, and they're joking, and that saying, here comes the devil now, or speaking of the devil, I would stop them, and I would even distract them and change their wording when they would say that about someone else approaching us. And they would, oh, we're just kidding. So when that came to me, as I was preparing for this and that phrase came to me, I went before Father in admittance to my guilt for every time I said it in my youth. Because in my youth, I did say it a few times. It wasn't a lot, but I did say it too many times. One is too many times. I asked that sin be blotted out, and that if my words had caused any type of pain or difficulty to someone because of my saying that, I asked them to please work in their lives. Ephesians 5 verses 3 and 4 says, but fornication and all uncleanness or covetousness, let it not be named once among you, as becometh set apart ones. King James says saints, but set apart ones, kodeshims, those called by Yah. Neither filthiness nor foolish talking, nor jesting, which are not convenient, but rather giving of thanks. We don't need to be engaging in a lot of foolishness and jesting. Doesn't mean we don't laugh. Doesn't mean that something's not funny. I think it was Solomon said laughter is like medicine. Yeah, we laugh. And sometimes we got to laugh at our enemy. So it's not that. It's the foolish, inconvenient jesting. The Amplified classic version or translation says, let there be no filthiness, obscenity and indecency, nor foolish and sinful, silly and corrupt talk, nor coarse jesting, which are not fitting or becoming, but instead voice your thankfulness to Yah. Proverbs 24:9, the thought of foolishness is sin. The thought of foolishness is sin. The next one, if you want good to happen, it starts with what we speak. If we want bad to happen, it starts with what we speak. It is also what we watch, what we see, what we hear, what we listen to, and the people we surround ourselves with. Remember, we reap what we sow. Another one. We can't put everything on Yahuah because he is wealth, he is knowledge, he is protection, he is peace, he is wisdom, to just barak us, shower us, grant us with what we want just because we know his name, because we read the Torah. No, we can't look, no. We are not automatically entitled to what is his. A caring earthly parent should not do it either, yet many do. And these children whose parents raised them like that, they end up being adults who are ungrateful and always wanting and always needing more. They are exhausting in every relationship they have. They are takers, not givers. They are hurters and tormentors, not healers. They are not problem solvers, but their problems, they themselves, they're problems wherever they go. Not realizing that they are controlled by a host of evil spirits. Maybe even some spirits actually possess them. Remember, Yah chastens those that he loves, and he nurtures us with instruction on how to be recipients of his life, to become those kings and priests, the royal priesthood that he mentions in 1 Peter 2, verse 9, that chosen generation, that peculiar people. Brats are cultivated in the kingdom of evil where there are hidden agendas and things that are done in the dark. Yah doesn't raise brats. The next one, instead of saying understand, give me understanding, begin saying insight in the place to the word understanding, because when you break down the word understand, it is to stand under that knowledge or precept that we're seeking. What we want is insight. We want revelation. We want knowledge. Yahushua said that he opens doors that no man can shut and shuts doors that no man can open. So we can ask him to open doors to this knowledge we want to attain. We can ask him to open the door and give insight to this revelation instead of saying, give me understanding. Now, I know in the scriptures, Proverbs especially talks about, and with all your get understanding. But remember, we have found flaws in some of the translation. And it's not going to hurt. What would it hurt to interchange that with insight? Insight. We're in the know. We're in the seeing. Insight. Another one. When we honor Yah in all our ways, he brings promotion because we live by his guiding principle and right rulings. We do right when it is right, because it's right, for no other reason but that is right. So we do right, not because people are watching. The scriptures tell us promotions come from Yah. Well, it doesn't really quite say it like that. It says it doesn't come from the east, the west, or the south. Yah directs men to give us promotions. Remember Joseph? Promotions comes when Yahuah sees that we can handle it, we have done right, we have integrity, and we are not going to smear his name. Another thought. If someone gives us free range of their possessions, we should still inform them of our actions and our doings, and do not get presumptuous. Do not think that we stand. Why? The scriptures tell us, lest we fall. Occasionally, we should still ask their permission or approval to assure them that we remember that it is their generosity that has allowed us to be in the place that we're at. Always respecting and remembering that our character got us there, and that same character of integrity and trustworthiness will keep us there. We must always please Yah. We please Yah, He's going to open the doors. He's going to give us favor. Another thought. All action begins with a thought. That's why we can't take thought saying. Yahushua warned us in Matthew 6. Think about it. When a thought comes to us and it doesn't line up with the word of truth, the word of life, and the belief of Yah's sovereignty, we need to immediately be free of it in Yahushua's name. Now I say when, and I didn't say if, because we all live in enemy territory, and the enemy's agenda is to destroy us so that it brings separation between us and the Most High. He's going to bring thoughts to us. He's going to bring thoughts to us. So when they come and they don't line up, if they bring fear, which is what Yahushua was pointing at in Matthew 6, if a thought comes, how are we going to eat? What are we going to wear? Don't say it. Instead, we thank Yah for being our provider. So take no thought saying anything. And remember the children of Israel in the wilderness when they did not believe Joshua and Caleb's report, but they rather believed the report of the 10, their leaders, who brought back an evil report, and they began saying all these different things. Don't have an evil thought, because an evil thought is a thought of unbelief in Yahushua and in Yahuah. So, when an evil thought comes to us, and we know it's evil, like I said, because it doesn't line up with the word, it takes away from Yah's sovereignty, it brings fear, fretting, nervous, all that stuff. It's not of Him. So we don't let it linger. Because if we do, it will set up house. We cannot ponder on it because it is the ground it needs to give life. It'll give it hope of conquering and controlling us. There is power in thought. I'm grateful how Father showed me a few months ago to not say, I've got to figure it out, or once I figure it out. He reminded me that I am in nothing alone. No situation, no circumstance comes to me that I'm in it alone. He's there with me for everything. So why am I trying to figure it out when I got the all-knowing one with me, ready to show me what to do? If there's a situation and I bring it to Him, He will tell me what to do. Or He'll even tell me what the problem is. I'm trying to figure out what the problem is. I don't have to figure it out. That's a lot of wasted time and energy. Like the hamster on the wheel. All I gotta do is take it to Him. He'll tell me what to do. He'll even show me what the problem is. He'll show me the remedy on how to solve it. Another thought. The spirit of thievery is sneaky and conniving. Having someone to clock us in at work when we are not there is stealing. Asking if we can leave early and still get paid does not stamp it as honorable because we got it approved by a man of little authority. We know that we ought not be getting paid if we didn't work. Believe it or not, the adversary will bring it to mind to that same person that you just asked, that we just asked to work something out for us. He'll bring it back to their mind that will lessen our measure of integrity. They will publicly use it against us the next time we try to stand up for what is right. Oh yeah, you're so righteous. Then why you trying to get paid all the time when you know you ain't working? Yeah, they will. People like that, they take our little things and they put it in their pocket and keep it in their pocket for an opportune time. Or they may feel that we owe them a favor or favors and will call on us when they try an underhanded scheme. Taking things from work because they have plenty or our supervisor says it's okay is all under the description of stealing. The supervisor is not the owner of the company, and he or she did not buy those products with their money. How can they say it's okay? These incidents are not honorable, and the enemy is sizing us up. Do you know the story about that snake? The woman who slept with a snake? Okay, so she had this snake from a his young days. And she used to sleep with it. I know, right? But she used to sleep with it, and it would sleep curled. And as it was growing, it started sleeping lengthwise, like she, laying next to her leggings. And it kept going on. So finally she took it to the vet, concerned that something was wrong with it. And to her surprise, the vet told her that the snake was sizing her up, that he was going to take her out one night as she slept. She was going to be his meal on that certain day. Brothers and sisters, we cannot afford to sleep with the enemy. As I say, don't love your enemies. We don't love our enemies. Those who are really our enemies, we need to get counsel from Yah. No, that's not love. Romans 13 verse 8 says, owe no man anything but to love one another. For he that loveth another hath fulfilled the law. Be cautious. Know what Yah says about love. But the main thing is we are to owe no man anything. We are to pay our debts. Don't think because it's your mother or it's your brother or they understand, I'll pay them later or I'll get to them. I need to do this now. No, you pay your debts. Whatever you promised, you pay your debts. It's better to pay a little bit faithfully than to not pay anything and make excuses. It's not right to the other person, because then they have to struggle with evil thoughts. Because the enemy is going to definitely be attacking them with evil thoughts. And that's not right. And you're not loving your brother if you do that. Psalms 37:21. The wicked borrows and pays not again, but the righteous shows mercy or kindness and compassion and gives. So if we don't pay back our debts, we are listed as a wicked person. And sometimes we can owe people explanations, and we need to be quick to give that. Don't have people wondering about things. That's not right either. It's not right. We're supposed to be helping each other through this. Another thought, when bad things happen, we must be slow to blame others, especially blaming Yah. Slow to blame others, but swift to examine ourselves. When we examine ourselves, when we ask Father, what did we do? We can then confess. When he shows what the problem is, he will show us, and we can confess it, we can admit it, we can acknowledge it, however you want to say it, and then ask him to blot out that transgression. And please restore us to righteousness. Psalms 23 says, he restores my soul. He leads in the path of righteousness for his name's sake. Then we can ask him for his favor that will give us direction and turn us back around. Psalms 123 reads, unto you I lift up my eyes, O you that dwell in the heavens. Behold, as the eyes of the servant looks into the hand of his master, and as the eyes of a maiden unto the hand of her mistress, so our eyes wait upon you, Yahuah, our Aloah, until that you have compassion upon us. Have compassion upon us, Yahuah. Yahushua said that he was sending us out like sheep in the midst of wolves, but that we have got to be as wise as serpents and as harmless as doves. Think on that. Another thought. There is power in the tongue that can either open doors or shut doors. Words of wisdom will draw wealth, health, and closer walk with Yahuah, and shut down attempts of destruction and works of evil. John said, I would that you would prosper and be in health, even as your soul prospers. Think on this. Sometimes it may be good practice to confess our faults to our children, so that they know that we too can be tricked. We too can be distracted. We too can believe a lie. But that in all that, we return to Yahuah to cut off the results of reaping of that evil. Another thought. If we try to prevent a generational activity from happening in the physical by our own means, the enemy will slither in another way. It has to be by the power and wisdom of the Ancient of Days that protects and closes the door on that activity and cancel further movement of that familiar generational spirit. I've known people to try to stop something from happening in their own physical strength. And that spirit was like, must have been a generational covenant, wanted to go to the next generation, and they found a way to do it. It was very devastating. Another thought. We can choose our children's friends by how we choose our friends. If our children play with the children of our friends, then we have chosen their friends. We've chosen our children's friends. They won't even know any other way because it's all they've known. Because if the friends we choose are like-minded to us, they will have the same integrity, the same goals, and the same Aloah. Then when our children are not with us, they will instinctively choose friends by what they know. Another thought. Start planting the word of the Torah, our Father's instructions, early, and children will bring forth fruit of that word. But more importantly, is what they see you living. When they see us living the word, they see us living the word out, children do what they see modeled before them. Why do you think Aloah told our ancestors to talk to the children as they walk, as they sit, all the time, talk about me? Children should just know Yahuah as part of the family. We always talk about him. We take things to him, but not in a condescending religious type, holier than, I didn't mean to say the word holy, but, better than anybody else type way, but just as a way of life, what he thinks matters to us. Another thought. He presented before our ancestors life and death. And then he prompted them, choose life. I'm putting before you life and death, but choose life. We can teach our children the same principle by how we live, by how we respond, how we ask things, and how that we might be, so that we're not against the Most High. And we can show them how the enemy comes in, the different indications that the enemy is around, by our conversations and how we just react to things, how we do things. And when we do that, the door that he opened can be closed on his head as he tries to slither in. And if he tries to slither in, then that's an indication to us parents that we've done something where we've gotten distracted, we have fallen short, and we need to get it right. Another thought. I have asked Abba Father if for every time one of my offenses that is attached to a generational curse is blotted out, does it free my descendants? Does it cancel out future activity of that curse? I want to believe it's true that once the offense is blotted out, that door is closed. I've made the choice to live by Yah's laws, and that spirit is checked, choked out, and has no life in this lineage as we walk in the light. So I was wondering, would that then free my descendants? And any evil that I did that might have affected them, once he brings it back to my attention, reminding me that I did that, and I get it right with them, would the results of my bad parenting free them from the response of that evil act? I just want to know if that, because I haven't heard a teaching on it, but I want to believe that that's how it is. I also believe that we need to be asking Father to walk with them as they walk this life, knowing all the traps and the pitfalls, the pit holes in the road, if he'll walk with them and protect them from falling into a ditch, falling into a trap that the enemy has set, that will bring them into under the curse, the generational curse. Asking them to stir up that word of way of remembrance, the fruit of the seed of the word that has been put in them. John 3, beginning with verse 18 says, he that believes on him, meaning Yahushua, is not condemned, but he that believes not is condemned already, because he has not believed in the name of the only begotten Son of Yah. And this is the condemnation, that light is come into the world, and men love darkness rather than light, because their deeds were evil. For everyone that does evil hates the light, neither comes to the light, lest his deeds should be reproved. But he that does truth comes to the light, that his deeds may be made manifest, that they are wrought in Yah. So see, I just wonder. And he'll give me the answer. So I did find this verse a while back, and he reminded me of it today. Deuteronomy 30, beginning with verse 2. And return unto Yahuah your Aloah, and shall obey his voice according to all that I command you. This is Moses talking to the children of Israel. To you and your children with all your heart and with all your soul, that then Yahuah, excuse me, your Aloah, will turn your captivity and have compassion upon you, and will return and gather you from all nations, whether Yahuah your Aloah has scattered you. So that to me kind of makes me think that when he turns back our captivity, he'll have compassion on us and will return and gather us. Once we return back to him, we're under his wings, the shadow of his wings. So I don't know. Something to think about, something to take to him to get understanding. We want our children, we want these evil spirits to be annihilated. We don't want them to continue to go from one generation to the next in our lineage. Another thought, having family secrets is a way to keep evil spirits in the dark, knowing that the enemy works in the dark. He works in deception. And is it not deception to keep our children from the truth of the evil that has worked in our past history, the past history of our ancestors? Aren't we disarming them? Of course, take everything to Yahuah, because he'll give you wisdom how to do it. Another thought. We tell people to close the door to keep flies out, mice out, all these unwanted creatures, right? We have to learn to do the same thing with unwanted spirits. Psalms 91, I thought it came to me today, also covers this. We use Psalms 91 for all types of protections, but when you think about it, it's also a guideline from evil spirits. Psalms 91 is a powerful set of words to use in daily battles. Another thing to think of. Why do people get offended when we hear someone sound the alarm that they feel an evil spirit is present and working in a situation? Instead of combining our power to bind and loose and rid our atmosphere of the intruder, usually it causes division. Is that an indication that the evil spirit is working through one of us and doesn't want to be revealed? Yet our response is so different if we hear the sound of an alarm that a physical snake is in the vicinity. But a spiritual snake in the vicinity, somebody's going to take offense at it. Something to think about. Another thought. Do you know that evil spirits can work through people and not possess them? Are you aware of the Leviathan spirit who separates and destroys relationships? And remember this, another thought. It's not always a selfish act to not tell everybody everything or share possessions with everyone. Some friends are out of courts. This is another thought. Some friends are out of court friends. Some are inner court friends. And some are allowed to come into your most qodosh place. And most of all, not everyone who is nice to us or we like has any place in our lives. So we don't have to look for a place to place them. Have boundaries. And could it be that the outer court friends are really just acquaintances? One of my hardest struggles, I just want to share this with you, is learning to live as James wrote in James 3 about the tongue, and learning the true meaning of words and coupling that with Yah's wisdom. Remember that the serpents in the wilderness that attacked the children of Yisrael came after another one of their incidents of murmuring and complaining. And the serpent seemed to have come out from nowhere. I think, so think about this, if we have those kinds of occurrences where all of a sudden we have a sudden disaster or a series of bad events happening, it might be good for us to sit back and examine and consider our ways. Did we do something? I want to share with you Jeff Brenner's Hebrew perspective of Numbers 6:24-26. Is often called the Aaronic blessing or Berakoth. Yahuah will present you with gifts and will guard you with a hedge of protection. Yahuah will illuminate the wholeness of his being towards you, bringing order. He will give you comfort and sustenance. Yahuah will lift up the wholeness of his being and look upon you, and he will set in place all you need to be whole and complete. Can you not see how saying this could protect us, could cover us from the daily workings of the evil one? Daily working. It's like termites and carpenter bees. We don't even know what they're doing to a foundation, to a house, until it's too late often. That's what they're doing. They're constantly working. In closing, evil spirits are always looking for an open door. I hope some of these thoughts will give you things to think about. Maybe some of those thoughts will help you to start looking into areas. We need to start looking in areas of our lives. I'm in there too. I'm struggling to make it just like everyone else, working to work out my salvation. So, but let's be encouraged. Let's remember he has given us so many promises. We have Psalms 91 that speaks of victory. And then I just read the number 6:20, verses 24-26. And I can put that in the description for you. All right, be encouraged. Be encouraged. We're always winning. Always winning. Always winning. All right, we win in Yahuah. We win in Yah. We win in Yah. As long as we're walking closely with him and striving to do right, he knows us. If we're his, he knows us. He knows us. He will turn back captivities. He will make things anew if our hearts are pure. Because he knows we have enemies. But if we walk closely to him, closely with him, he will lead us. I often have wondered what kind of spirit Caleb had, because he said he was of a different spirit, even though he and Joshua were the only two of the original that came to the promised land. He said Caleb had a different spirit. Until next time, brothers and sisters, Shalom, Ashay. We are winners in Yahuah. We win. We are victorious, overcomers, more than conquerors in Yah. Amen and amen. Ashay.